Good morning, everybody. I'm a little bit early today. The purpose of today's little 5-minute reminder is that first draft that you're writing, you need to get written as quickly as you can. Now, I don't mean in a week or a month, but the idea is not to go back and make your words perfect as you go, but to write through to the end as quickly as you can, because what most often happens is you'll find that you want to change the beginning anyway, because it's only as you write your way into your story or write your way into your book that you know what you really want to say. So if you spend all that time making the beginning perfect, you may find that you're going to ditch it anyway, and that would be a little bit heartbreaking. Plus, there is a tendency to get halfway through a book or halfway through an article and just give up because it's so tedious. You call it messy middles, and sometimes you just don't find your way out the other side. So how we teach our kids and what we put in our framework for narrative writing is that first draft, you have to push your way through to the end, even if you feel yourself getting bogged down. Because trust me, when you come out the other end and look back, you'll discover that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. And as we go through our 30-day writing habits, I'm just thinking that we're getting to a stage now where I've got, I think, 8,500 words, and I know some of you probably got even more because you're not as inconsistent as me. But you'll find that you're starting to wonder what you're doing, and you're starting to go, oh, this is a mess, and you're starting to doubt, and those voices in your head are really starting to ramp it up. So my advice to you this morning is to just keep writing. You can spend your spare time doing little plots and diagrams and outlines and all those kinds of things, but remember your main part of your writing day is to just get words on the page, because we can fix them. I keep saying that we can fix them, and trust me, we can fix them, but not if you haven't written them. Now, I was speaking to a lady for the podcast last night, and she is part of a group called the 1 million K group in 2018, and their plan is that every one of them in the group write 1 million words in 2018. And that sounds really daunting, but they've worked out how many words a day, and it's 3,000 words a day. Now, they started in January, and some of the ladies got 120,000 words done in January. Now I'm up to 8,000 words, and I'm going, wow. So it can be done, and it can be done in 2 to 3 hours a day, apparently. So look, there's people out there churning out those sort of word counts. There's people out there who are still talking about starting. So at least we've started. At least we're moving forward. Maybe one day we can aim for 120,000 words in a month, but I don't think we need that many. I think we need some consistency around what we're doing. I think we need to allow our subconscious brains to kick in, and we need to start reading some good writing as we write, and you'll be surprised how your subconscious kicks in and you start to live and breathe your story. And you'll find that you're walking around and you'll get little ideas, and you'll find scraps of paper everywhere. And I'm hoping you have got scraps of paper everywhere and pens everywhere so you can jot down these ideas as they come. I know sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you're scrambling around for a pen until your partner or your husband says, can you just go back to sleep, please? This is what we want. We're 8 days in, or sorry, we're 6. We're only 6 days in, but we're starting to do it every day. And if you're not doing it every day, now's a good time to ask yourself why. Because it's only through habit, it's only through bum on chair, it's only through getting that first draft down that you can see that you're making some progress. Now, I'd love to show you my first 8,000 words that I've written, because they're a mess, and I've forgotten what I was saying, so I go down 4 lines and I start again. But I've got some characters that I really like. I've got some things happening that I really like, and I've got some research that I need to do that I didn't know I needed to do a week ago. So I'm pretty excited that my story is actually happening, and I'd like to hear how your story's going as well. Remember, get that draft written. By the end of 30 days, we should well and truly know what's happening in our stories. And if you want to aim for 1 million words, why not? Why not go for the sky? Because as my podcast guest said, if you fail, what's the worst thing that could happen? That you only write 500,000 words? Now that would be 10, romance novels, or those 50,000 word novellas? That would be 10 novels in a year. And we are struggling in our first 30 days to even get in a consistent habit. So no more excuses, guys. I think we're being left behind, and I think we actually have to ramp it up. And make ourselves realise that this thing that we're trying to achieve is not actually that difficult, that all the excuses are in our heads. And 1,000 words a day is really not that many. So challenges over to you, challenges over to me. Let's see if we can ramp up our word count a little bit and see if we can catch those guys on 3,000 words a day. The idea just exhausts me. Talk to you tomorrow.